Dear cricket fans, there is a big issue now blowing up with regard to the Indian cricket. Indian cricket is right on the top after the excellent series victory in Australia, and we also performed well in the one day series. But now, right now, a controversy has arisen whether Virat Kohli should be appointed as the captain or Rahane should be appointed. Actually, against the series in England, already Kohli has been appointed as captain, but there are views that Rahane will be a better captain than Kohli. And here, our expert commentators R. Viswanath and R. Subramaniam are going to speak about the pros and cons of this issue. But before they speak, I like to clarify one thing. This topic, this discussion is not about their playing capacity, only captaincy issue. Nobody disputes that Virat Kohli should be included as a top middle order batsman, for which he is contributing very well. And Rahane is also equally an asset to the team. With regard to captaincy only, and first I invite our expert commentator R. Viswanath to present his valuable opinions to our readers, to our channels, and also I request the readers to hear it carefully and subscribe to this channel. And now I hand over the mic to R. Viswanath.
First of all, a very warm welcome to all our subscribers and viewers. Now this question is a very interesting one, whether Virat Kohli should continue as the captain of India after coming back from paternity leave, or should Rahane take over because of the wonderful series win in Australia. Now I would like to categorize this into three different types. I would talk about first the impact of Virat Kohli in Indian team. Then the second category is some examples of positivity under Virat Kohli. And the third one is the numbers. I feel everybody will talk mostly about numbers because numbers define a captain. If the numbers are very good, then he is said to be a very good captain. But I feel if the impact and the positivity is there, then the numbers will automatically follow more often than not. Okay, now let us talk about the impact. First, Virat Kohli is one who is full of positivity. You ask anybody in the cricketing circle, they would tell the answer that he is one who rubs positivity on others and not only on him. He brings positivity and energy on the field and off the field as well. Even inside the dressing room, he motivates people and lets them get the best out of each and every individual. So that is Virat Kohli in a nutshell, because he is full of energy. Even you just take for instance, a wicket falls, India takes a wicket. The celebration that Virat Kohli gives is something so energetic that it gives a special motivation and power to the bowlers and the fielders as well. And secondly, now, so when a captain is full of energy and dynamism and motivation, then that actually gives the team as a whole, the entire team will get a lot of strength because of such a captain. So that is one big plus point Virat Kohli possesses. He is always positive. He never backs away from any challenges or obstacles. He always takes it and tries to win each and every challenge. That is one basic thing that a captain should possess. And I feel that is one of the biggest hallmarks of Virat Kohli as a captain, as an Indian captain as well as a leader. Okay, now let us talk about some examples of positivity as exhibited, because that is very first and foremost important, because a captain should be very positive in all situations. So now talking of positivity, I would like to go back to Adelaide 2014. See, first of all, here itself there are two kinds. As a batsman and as a captain, Virat Kohli was taking over Indian reins for the first time ever in his international career. He has never captained India till 2014. And come Australia series 2014, he was asked to lead because MS Dhoni had to miss the first test. The then Indian captain had to miss the first test due to some overrate or some injury issues. I am not very sure. So he had to miss the test. And mind you, just if you recall before what happened, before that series, Virat Kohli went to England as one of the batting mainstays of the Indian lineup already. Then What was expected of Virat Kohli was lot of runs, lot of hundreds and tons return all over his batting. But what happened was he fell innings after innings, nicking Anderson and Broad. The in-swingers and out-swingers troubled him to the core, and he was completely out of sorts in the 10 innings that he played. He aggregated just 135 runs in 10 innings with an average of 13.5 and an highest of around 30 runs. So this was the scenario that Virat Kohli had to take over the Indian reins as a player himself, being in such a mental backdrop. So you can now imagine taking over from this situation is very difficult for a player himself. So now Adelaide 2014, all eyes were on Virat Kohli because he was taking over the leadership and he was completely out of form because the previous series was completely has taken away his confidence, and that is where the genius of Virat Kohli lied. 2014 Adelaide, first innings century, second innings century, and what is more important in this positivity is India had to chase 360 odd in the second innings, and I don't need to say any other captain, let alone Indian captain, any other captain in the world, most of the captains would have instructed the team to go for a draw rather than an improbable win, because it is always safe to play for a draw rather than risking your team for a victory and then losing it in the end. But Virat Kohli had other ideas. Even in his first international match as a captain, he exhibited full positivity. And not only positivity, he led from the front in the second innings by scoring a fantastic 144. And he almost took India to victory. Of course, India did lose the game eventually by 50 odd runs. The target was 360 and we fell short by 50 odd runs. But still, everyone appreciated the positivity that rubbed off on Team India. So that was one incident. And he faced the likes of Johnson, Ryan Harris and Nathan Lyon with high confidence, even though he had a very poor England series. So as a captain, as a leader, he proved to the world that captaincy will not affect his batting one bit. So that is one big positive Virat Kohli possessed in that series. Okay, second incident is 5th test Oval 2018, India versus England. Again, the target was second innings 460 odd runs to win, which is highly improbable, and that too the time which was left was very, very short. It was just a matter of full 3 sessions, that is day 5 and just over a session. And of course, Virat Kohli didn't succeed in that game. He was out in the 4th day itself. But even then, he didn't go for a draw. Again, any other captain might have gone for a draw because playing out 80-85 overs on a single day is easier rather than going for 460 odd runs and again risking your team a loss. But again, Virat Kohli had other ideas. He instructed KL Rahul, who was again completely out of form in that series. He was also falling innings after innings with a lot of in-swinging deliveries creating problems, out-swingers creating problems. He again he gave the confidence and motivation to Pant as well as Virat Kohli. Even Rahane played very well in that game. To be honest, in the 5th day he started off very well. He was on a positive note, rubbed off by Virat Kohli. And so again, here 460 is a huge task. India came very close. The scorecard may suggest otherwise. We lost by 120 runs nearly, but still the people who watched that game would know that England was really threatened of a loss in that game. Particularly, England wouldn't have minded much if it was a normal game, but it was also one of the emotional moments for them being Alistair Cook, they're one of their talismans, stalwarts in the history of England Test cricket. He was going to call it a day after the test. So Pant and Rahul almost spoiled the show for Alistair Cook and co. So that was another thing where Virat Kohli showed positivity, and of course India lost both the games in which I told. But here the important thing is that positive attitude will always help the team. These 2 games India might have lost, but still if you have the positive attitude to succeed, then more often than not you can end up winning the game. So that is a biggest plus point he has got. Third incident, which is not a test game, it is a one-day international. February 2012 Commonwealth Bank series. Here Virat Kohli was not the captain, but I guess before the start of the game, I mean it was India-Sri Lanka game in that particular match. India had to win that game, and they not only had to win, but they had to do it by a big margin. Here again, India versus Sri Lanka, in that particular match, before the start of the match, the then Indian captain MS Dhoni had remarked that his team was already out of contention for a place in the final. So here again, when India came to the match, their captain had already given the statement, and so they would have been in the back seat straight away. But here the target was around 320 runs, and India, mind you, had to chase this before 38 or 39 overs. for them to have a chance to play in the finals. And that is where again Virat Kohli's positivity as a player stood out. He came out with all guns blazing. And mind you, Malinga was in the peak of his career at that point of time. And he spared no one, including Malinga. Malinga was taken apart the Hobart Stadium as he went for 96 runs in just 7 or 8 overs. And then India won the game but eventually couldn't make to the finals. So these three examples of Virat Kohli show the positivity under him. So which is very important for a captain and a leader. So these are the three things. And now, having talked about impact and positivity and the examples, now we will go on to the numbers, because numbers obviously follow when these qualities are there for a captain. Now, interesting numbers. Virat Kohli as a captain for India in test, 56 tests he has captained India, and India has won 33 of those and losing 13. Here the most important point is home series. If you take, because India is playing England in home series, India has played 26 tests under Virat Kohli in India, and you wouldn't believe that India has lost just a solitary test, just one test match loss under Virat Kohli in India for India, and that came against Australia in Pune in a ranked turner where Stephen O'Connor ran through our lineup and India lost badly. And to give more enormity to the statement, India lost a test series way back in 2012. The last time India lost a test series in India was way back in 2012 against Alastair Cook's men. If this isn't enough, another stat to prove the enormity of this statement. Joe Root, the present England captain, England test team captain, is playing his 100th test tomorrow in Chennai. The last time India lost a series in India was when Joe Root debuted for England. Joe Root's debut series was the last time India lost a test in India. So you can imagine 100 tests Joe Root has played, and yet India is yet to lose a test series in India after that. So it has been nearly 9 long years. It is almost a decade since India lost. And of course, from 2014, Virat Kohli took over from 2014. 12 to 14 Dhoni managed without losing a game, so that is a good credit. But 14 onwards, from 2014 till 2021, India is yet to lose a test series. You leave alone losing a test series, India is yet to lose even 2 tests again under Virat Kohli in India. So that is home records. And if you talk about away records, of course he isn't very different to other Indian captains or let alone Asian captains. But the one biggest point is he is the first ever Asian captain to win a test series in Australia, against Australia. So that is he has given India a pinnacle of glory with this kind of amazing achievement, because it is never easy to tour Australia and win a series there, let alone winning a match. So this is the biggest positivity, biggest achievement for Virat Kohli I would consider in the test arena. And secondly, if you talk Virat Kohli as a batsman, you can see many good captains winning games for your country through their captaincy skills or leadership skills or tactical brilliance. For example, Mike Virelli was one England captain. He wouldn't score much, but he used to win games for England through his captaincy skills. So there are captains in that aspect also. But here talking about Virat Kohli's numbers as a captain, they are just amazing to watch, because he has played, as I told, 56 tests he has captained India, and out of which he has scored 5,220 runs, which is humongous considering he has an average of 60 plus. This 60 plus average has been scored only by 3 other people in the entire history of test cricket captaincy. First is the great Don Bradman. He had an average of nearly 100. So that is, he is the greatest, so there is no comparisons. And secondly, in the modern era, only 2 people have done that. Steven Smith and Kane Williamson have got an average better than Virat Kohli as a captain in tests. So he excels as a captain in test and as a player also. And talking about the hundreds, only 2 players in the history of test cricket has scored 20 or more hundreds as a captain, out of which Graeme Smith leads the charts, because he has captained South Africa for over 100 tests. But Virat Kohli has captained India for 56 tests and he has scored 20 hundreds. It's not much long before he can overtake that record as well. So he is not the one who only gives confidence to the team by his words. He is the one who leads by example. Here, confidence by words, I would like to recollect a small incident before signing off. I remember reading in one of the interesting episodes about 2006 Australia vs South Africa, last ODI international, where in that particular game Australia, everybody knows, Australia scored a mammoth 434. 434 is mammoth even in these days. To chase 430 odd in a one day international is difficult even now. But you can imagine 15, 16 years down the line before that. That was it was highly improbable and nobody even thought of scoring those runs. But when Australia gave the total, what is more interesting here is, once the fielders were leaving to the pavilion, to the dugout, South Africans were completely down and out as expected because they are already considered 430 and it was the series decider and they were going to lose the series, which was very evident during the first half of the game. But what happened here was the interesting scenario. Jack Callis, when he was just talking to the mates in the change room after the first innings, he just remarked to his players, you know what, I think they are 15 runs short. This was his remark. And every South African player was just shocked on hearing to this comment. They all were, nobody imagined this kind of a statement because you have considered 434 and you are going to lose the game anyway. And here is a player who is telling the batting team who set the target, Australia, were 15 runs short of what it was a par score. He said, if Australia can score 434, this is the batting beauty, it is a belter. Why not we chase it down? And you know what? South Africa actually did manage to chase it down. 438 was managed. So, why I am telling this is, even a small word of positivity inside the dressing room, off the field, can give such wonders to the particular team which is playing. Here, Virat Kohli not only gives positivity off the field and on the field, he also leads by example, as I told by the numbers. So, of course, Rahane's achievements is incredible. There is no comparing. There is no degrading Rahane's performance. It is just amazing to win a series in Australia against Australia with this kind of a team. Shows great caliber. Hats off to Rahane, no doubt about that. But I still feel that Virat Kohli's numbers and Virat Kohli's positivity is rubbing off on India, and it will be good for India if Virat Kohli continues as the captain. And Rahane takes a back seat as of now. And when time calls, when the situation demands, he can still take over and still give India a lot of glorious wins. So hats off to both of them. And here, there was a talk, Rishabh Pant was promoted ahead of Mayank Agarwal in the third and fourth test to try to win the game for India. And fourth test it succeeded. Here, I heard from some of the YouTube videos in which it was told, this move to promote Pant up the order was also one of the main talks that Virat Kohli made before he left Australia to India. He said to Rahane, if time calls, that is, if the situation demands, if a left-right combination is playing out there and if Pant is needed, you can promote him up the order and just try to experiment things. So this was told by some of our batting or bowling coaches. I don't remember who told it exactly. So again, Virat Kohli had a part to play, a small part though, but still he had a part to play even in this test series. So hats off to both the captains and hats off to India. It was a wonderful series win, and I would like to conclude saying that as I told, Virat Kohli can still lead Team India, but when time calls, when the situation demands, Rahane will step forward and take India forward for sure. Whenever Kohli is injured or is taking time off from the game. So congratulations to both of them.
Thank you, Mr. Viswanath, for your excellent comments. You have taken a clear and strong stand that Virat Kohli should be continued as the captain of the Indian team, even though Rahane has also got the credentials. So your views are well appreciated. I hope the readers would have enjoyed your views. And now I request another expert, Mr. R. Subramaniam, to come forward and share his views on this topic with our YouTube subscribers and friends. And I hand over the mic to you, Mr. R. Subramaniam, for your views now. The press Pandinaga.
Hello, dear viewers, a very warm welcome from my side. So today we are going to discuss a very interesting and very special topic on who should be leading India subsequently. Already Mr. Viswanath gave some wonderful comments about Kohli leading the side. So I would like to give from my point of view. In my opinion, Rahane is the best captain that India has ever got. So I would like to justify the following points in favor of Rahane and let the viewers decide who is the best to lead India in the coming years to come. Okay, so let me put my points. So first one is regarding the styles of captaincy. See, already Virat Kohli, as we all know, he is a very aggressive captain, and Rahane is very calm and level-headed captain. He knows what is the best decision for the team, and he knows when to take those perfect decisions. So he is calm and level-headed. But whereas Virat Kohli is aggression that rubbed on to many other players in the side. So that is why we were able to win convincingly in Australia, beating Australia in Australia. That is a phenomenal achievement. But sometimes his aggression is a bit too much. So that's not the correct way. One should be calm and level-headed, just like how Rahane manages things. And second thing is nothing but I would like to emphasize this very clearly about Kohli's poor selection policy. See, when you have got your 11 players, when you have got your 15 players selected for representing your country, you have to select the best 11. You have to select the best 11 and you motivate the players and give them lot of sufficient opportunities. You motivate them, you cheer them up to make them perform to their best. But what Kohli does is sometimes it looks so foolish about his poor playing 11. I would like to quote some 3 examples here. First one is about the recent Adelaide test where India got thrashed by Australia. India were bowled out for mere 36 in the second innings. That is our worst ever test score. So in that test match, as we all know, I do not understand the reason why Kohli selected Prithvi Shaw. Prithvi Shaw was woefully out of form in the IPL matches. In the latter half of the IPL, he was woefully out of form. He was completely struggling. In that case, I do not understand the logic how we went with Prithvi Shaw instead of opting for a well-informed Shubman Gill. Shubman Gill has proved his class and he has proved his worth in the recent warm-up matches. So there is no point in selecting Prithvi Shaw and making him to encourage and perform to his best. So that is an utter poor selection policy which was made by Kohli. But whereas Rahane, what he did was in the very next match, he dropped Prithvi Shaw. He did not drop Prithvi Shaw, but he told to Prithvi Shaw that you are woefully out of form, you take your own time to get back into form. And what he did was a brilliant decision. He dropped an out of form Prithvi Shaw by including a Shubman Gill, and that proved to be one of the best decisions in this series so far. That is one of the most important turning points. Mr. Vishwanath mentioned about the Adelaide Test 2014 that Virat Kohli led his team brilliantly in his maiden ever test. So that I also watched. It was a fabulous test match, a wonderful innings from Virat as a batsman, full credit to him. I like the style how Kohli bats. He should be there in the team. That is no question about that. No question about his leadership and stature. But no questions about his place in the playing 11. He should be there. He is a wonderful player. He is our most gifted asset that the team has got after Tendulkar departed. So now, in Adelaide Test 2014, that is in his maiden test as captain, I see here some baffling changes. I see here some strange decisions in his playing 11. That is, Kohli has included Varun Aaron in his playing 11. I do not understand the reason why. Varun Aaron has not even performed well whenever he has got some chances to play in home conditions. If a player does not even perform well in home conditions, then in what way a player is expected to perform in overseas conditions, and that too in Australia? So that is one of the poor selections. Instead of Varun Aaron, he should have given a chance to Ashwin, who is a proven performer, both with the bat and the ball. Ashwin is not as effective in Australia than like now, because now he is a little experienced bowler. But in 2014, he is way better than compared to Varun Aaron when it comes to batting department. And also in bowling, he could have contributed some important wickets. But whereas the decision of picking Varun Aaron is something strange to me. And also in the 2014 test, I am able to see Karan Sharma in the playing 11. And Karan Sharma has not even, no one ever knows who is Karan Sharma at that point of time. But Kohli has given a chance to Karan Sharma instead of proven performers. There are many proven performers here. I can see Ravindra Jadeja in the squad. I can see Ravindra Jadeja, I can see Ravichandran Ashwin, even Umesh Yadav could have done better. And the worst decision ever is dropping Suresh Raina. Suresh Raina is a stalwart in limited overs cricket, and he has already done well in test matches. He has got some centuries. But in what way that Varun Aaron and Karan Sharma has justified their places in the playing 11 than compared to Raina and Ashwin who are benched? These kind of decisions are something very surprising to me. So I like the way Kohli captains. That is, he selects average 11. He selects some 6 or 7 players who could contribute very well with the bat and very well with the ball, and then encourages them to go for their win at any cost. So, but in 2014, that famous test, his first ever test as a captain, he went for the win. That attitude has to be appreciated. But because of his over aggressiveness and his poor selection policy, that created a loss to Team India, which was very, very, very unfortunate because of his poor selection policy. And he could have drawn the test had these players, Suresh Raina, Ravichandran Ashwin, and Ravindra Jadeja, all played the test match instead of this useless Karan Sharma and all. So India could have drawn the test match instead of having avoided a defeat. And in this test, 36 all-out test in 2020, just recently it happened before 1.5 months before. So in that test also, he selected Prithvi Shaw. Okay, Prithvi Shaw I have already spoken again. But I could not understand the logic how Saha got selected ahead of Pant. Rishabh Pant was very impressive during his previous tour to Australia. He performed very well. He was the second best top scorer next to the one and only Cheteshwar Pujara. But in what way does Saha got an opportunity to get selected in the playing 11, I could not understand. So these are all some of the decisions, these are some of the baffling decisions which Kohli took, and that made India pay heavily for our losses. And one more thing, when it comes, I already told you that he is a fantastic person, he is a fantastic player with a bat. I do not agree to that point at all. I completely agree to that point that he is a fantastic player with a bat. But in New Zealand tour, recently in New Zealand tour, when India toured New Zealand during the early part of 2020, we lost again to New Zealand. My only doubt is, India are going to play mostly New Zealand, not mostly, India are definitely going to play New Zealand, because New Zealand has already qualified for the World Test Championship final. They are the best side now, with a lot of aggressive players like Kane Williamson, and their bowling attacks is considered as one of the best bowling attacks in the world. And how we are going to tackle their pace bowling and spin bowling with this poor selection decisions. So these are all some of the points, these are some of the baffling decisions that Kohli took. And in 2018, the Oval Test against England, Mr. Vishwanath spoke about it brilliantly, that KL Rahul and Rishabh Pant almost nailed it off the victory for us. But again, Kohli took a foolish call in selecting KL Rahul, because KL Rahul was woefully out of form for the first 4 tests. And Kohli already, we all know that he used to prefer friendships over nations. Over the nation, he used to prefer friendships. For Kohli, friendship is always the first. So that is why he picked KL Rahul. He was woefully out of form, and I give full credit to KL Rahul for the way he played during the fifth test, but selecting him, selecting KL Rahul was at that point wrong according to me. And in this, when it comes to Rahane, I have already spoken enough about Kohli's poor selection policy. I would like to emphasize some 2 or 3 points about Rahane over here. Mayank Agarwal, he was performing very well, and one test he failed miserably with the bat. Rahane understood it very clearly, and what he did was he dropped Mayank Agarwal and gave the chance to Rohit, who was a very proven performer, who was a very well established opener. That was a master stroke from Rahane. And second thing is he gave Shubman Gill again an opportunity instead of an out of form Prithvi Shaw. So this is about the selection thing. And limited over series, if we have a look at Kohli, Kohli is the one and only Indian captain ever to lose to Pakistan in a major final. So major ICC Champions Trophy final, he lost. That was very. In that match was very horrible to see as per an Indian point of view. Losing to Pakistan itself is a sad thing for us, and that too Pakistan crushed India by a huge margin of 180 runs under Kohli's captaincy. In the recently concluded 2019 World Cup final also, he could have made some brilliant decisions had he promoted Dhoni up the order instead of Dinesh Karthik. So he could have done some intelligent strategical moves, but whereas he failed to do all those things. So his tactics are not good as compared to Rahane's. But you may ask me a question. Rahane has captain only for 5 to 6 tests, and with the 5 to 6, it is just a matter of mere 5 to 6 tests. So how can you rate Kohli's captaincy versus Rahane's captaincy? I agree to that point, but Rahane should be given enough chances to prove himself. Already he has proved. And Vishwanath told about Kohli's 2018's triumphant victory over the Aussies, and he was the first Asian captain ever to achieve victory over Australia in Australia, and that too, it is a phenomenal achievement. I give full credit to Kohli for that. But Rahane has done that without the absence of Kohli in 2020. You cannot distinguish between Kohli's captaincy and Rahane's captaincy. And that too, when Kohli won in 2018, India had a full strength squad. We managed to beat Australia in Australia. Australia were not at their best in 2018 in terms of squad level. But when it comes to 2020, India had a pretty weaker squad under Rahane's captaincy. There was no Virat Kohli for the last 3 tests, but Rahane managed to captain brilliantly for most part of the series, and he himself scored a match-winning century at the MCG, which proved to be a major turning point for the rest of the series. So this is about his style of captaincy. He is very level-headed when it comes to selection policy, and when it comes to managing his bowlers, he is very calm. He knows what decisions to take and when to take those decisions. So again, for captaincy, you have to have some basic skills. Just like when Gautam Gambhir pointed out that Kohli had never won an IPL title. He had been given captaincy mere 8 to 9 times with RCB. But I am not comparing T20 captaincy with Test captaincy. That is, those styles of formats are completely different. But anyway, he has captained them for mere 8 to 9 seasons. But he could not achieve much. With when it comes to, we already saw how his miserable selection has costed our country dearly. So these are all the main decisions, these are all the main reasons why I pointed out that Rahane should lead India. Kohli can play as a batsman. He is a fantastic player, and he is a joy to watch when he bats. I love the way Kohli bats. He has an excellent record he has scored tons and tons of runs all across boundaries. So I wanted him to do that. But Rahane, he can be given further more chances to prove, because already he has proved enough that he is the best leader among the current crop of Indian players. He could be given further more chances to enhance his supremacy as a leader. So, all the best to India for the England series, and I wish the team good luck. Thank you.
Our YouTube subscribers, friends, cricket fans, I thank Mr. R. Subramaniam for his excellent views in supporting Rahane as the captain. You all heard his logic and all. And Viswanath supported Virat Kohli, and his logic was also powerful. Both the speakers spoke very well. And on behalf of myself and this prestigious YouTube channel, I thank these two experts for coming forward to our studios and giving their opinion about it. Actually, this is a very delicate topic. I remember in my younger days, once Mansoor Ali Khan Patodi ruled the roost. He was the undisputed captain of the Indian side. Suddenly, due to some political reason, he was opposed to Indira Gandhi, and the Prime Minister used her office, and then Mansoor Ali Khan Patodi was suddenly dropped, and Ajit Wadekar was inducted into the team, and Indian team went without Patodi to West Indies. There, Gary Sober's West Indies side, they played and won the series. That was the debut for Sunil Gavaskar also. And they went to England, and Ray Illingworth's side, the Indian team defeated. Then England came to India in 1972-73 under the captaincy of Tony Lewis, and that also India under the captaincy of Ajit Wadekar defeated them. But when we went to England in 1974, some on the field and off the field incidences tarnished the image of the Indian team and also the captain Wadekar, and so Wadekar was sacked, and again Patodi was brought into the team. So these things are connected with the pure politics. But there were also some people who said Wadekar was an excellent captain and he should be brought back, and he won 2 overseas tours and 1 home side series against England, and continuously 3 series he won. This shows his captaincy skills, and he should be the permanent captain of the Indian team as long as he plays and till his retirement, they said. But there were critics also who said Ajit Wadekar won the West Indies side, but the West Indies at that time had no fast bowler, and Wesley Halls and Charlie Griffith retired, and in between Keith Boyce, Van Holder, people like that, and with spinners like Norega, Gibbs and all, they were not much a match to our Indian spinners. And West Indies also lacked batting with the aging Rohan Kenai, Sobers and all, not able to play well. And against Illingworth's side, no doubt Illingworth's side went to Australia and won the Ashes. But when they returned, they underestimated the India. We have won the Ashes side, and this Indian side is not a great side, so we can just carelessly they played and lost it. And when they came to India, the world-class spinners Prasanna, Bedi, Chandrasekhar, they were no match to the English people, and their batsmen struggled and they lost the series. And so we cannot give the full credit to Ajit Wadekar for winning these 3 series. Circumstances favored him, so that was also the view. But anyway, today's discussion concluded well, and once again I thank you. And those who have not subscribed, please subscribe to our channel. This is the only channel that gives out the opinion about the cricket without any fear or favor. We don't mince language. We call a spade a spade. When a person is playing uselessly, we call like that. We don't mince words. So please encourage and subscribe to this channel, and thank you very much.